topic for today. I want to talk about something I've seen lately on YouTube. So, like, a lot of people on YouTube have been telling people to quit their 9 to 5s, which is kind of crazy. You know, it's really, really bad advice. It's extremely bad advice. And so, I just want to tell you guys do not quit your job because some YouTuber told you to quit your job. Don't fall for people because the same people that are, you know, doing that are basically the same people that are begging you for super chats and donations. You know, like for me, I sell a few books and you guys donate or whatever, but I would never, guilt trip my audience into, donating. And of course, like, I appreciate you guys and stuff like that. But there are some YouTubers, and you guys know, or streamers, that really guilt their audience into, donating and stuff like that. But they give some really, really bad advice. There's a lot of reasons why, you want to keep your 9 to 5. A lot of reasons. First of all, even if you are doing, content, it allows you to, get study money every month. It allows you to have a routine and some responsibility in life. And a lot of times when if people are telling you that, they probably have like enough money to where they don't really need to work or whatever, or they're getting a lot of money from social media. But the average person, that's not their situation. So I can see a lot of people being influenced by these people and possibly, actually quitting their job, which I know most people are gonna regret doing in the long term. It really takes a lot of you got something. It really takes a lot. But I don't care if you're rich. I don't think you should ever quit your job. Any chance to get some money is a good chance as long as it's legal. So they might tell you, about freedom and get out of the rat race and stuff like that. Or like, I can't work a 9 to 5. It's killing my soul. Stuff like that. It's like a lot of people, I think, truly are lazy. No, of course nobody likes to work, but it's just something that people have to do. It's something that people have to do, and if you don't work, you don't eat. And unless you're making, thousands of dollars with content or something like that, for the most part, you have to work. And that's why I say just overall bad advice, terrible advice for people to be telling people to quit their 9 to 5s. And a lot of the reason why is because they want you to watch them more, so that, like I said, you can donate. Like, you have some people that will say like, oh, get the likes up or out in the stream, right? Which is crazy, really crazy. Look at the and some people will say, like threaten it to end the stream unless people donate, which is crazy. Like some streamers and some YouTubers are extremely greedy, extremely greedy. I'm gonna go over here. They're extremely greedy. Let me get over here by the artillery bay. We'll stay right here. For me, I really respect my viewers, so like I said, I would never guilt you guys into donating. I'm thankful for all the donations you guys give for purchasing my books and stuff like that. I think that it's important for the content creator to provide value, and then if viewers want to support monetarily, they can support monetarily. But under no circumstances should it be something that the content creator guilt trips, the person over. Like they do this in some churches too. Like guilt people into giving money and stuff like that. A little bit more than what the Bible says in general. So it kind of goes into not only the streaming, but also like the church stuff. And I think a lot of like content creators do guilt people into like donating and stuff like that because they feel that they're entitled to your money to pay their bills. But it's their responsibility. It's not your responsibility. If they are in a point where they just need donations, then they need to get a job. They need to get 9 to 5, and then they can still do the content on the side. But guilt tripping their audience to pay their bills is insane and greedy. And another thing is, one of the reasons why I make some books is because I know people do donations or whatever, but I wanted to provide like real value for any kind of monetary gain that I have on the channel. And so I provided a product, something that's very high quality, wonderful stories. But I mention it from time to time. I have it on the screen, have links or whatever. But I'm never like guilting people, into purchasing. I'm thankful for you guys that do purchase. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. But the main point of this little talk, I just want to rant about it for a few minutes. It's just do not listen to these YouTubers that are telling you to quit your 9 to 5. It is a terrible idea. But most people, they just need to work, and it may be hard. Work, save, and you'll be glad. Like in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Because while you're in your 20s, you wanna. That's a whole nother conversation. Actually, so while you're in your 20s, like, I guess I can go into that. We got like 10 seconds before this thing starts, but a few things that you want to do before you're 30. I'm 25, so obviously I'm doing these things. Is the main one, you want to keep a stable job, just exactly what I was talking about before. You want to keep a stable job so that you can at least save up, to do something, in life. Because you'll be surprised, like from 18 to 20, I'm 25, about to be 26. That time went by so fast. It went by so fast. For me, I had an accident or whatever, and I was in and out of hospital and recovering during that like 18 to 20, 18 to it's like 22 or whatever. So I had the medical issues or whatever. But for people who are able-bodied, doing nothing, from like 18 to 25 is just crazy. Unless you have like some medical problem like I did. But once I got better, I started writing books. I started doing a little content. Now I'm getting into the medical field and stuff like that. So you'll be surprised how quick you get to 25 and then how quick you get to 30. So that's like the main thing. You want to make sure you get a stable job. Keep it. It doesn't matter if you're making 30K, 40K, 50K, or more. Be smart with your money. Be frugal. And don't like spend like crazy, and don't live above your means. And don't waste your time, especially like some of you young people. Like you might be younger than 18, or you might be 18 or in your early 20s. You want to make this time count. Like, don't play around in this time. Really do not. The second thing is you want to have some backups. Always be ready to transition. Always have like 2 or 3 backup places you can go if one place doesn't work out. you know, maybe the market goes down, maybe you get laid off, maybe, you know, fired or something. You have to change locations. It's lagging. It's all good though. I can hear the props. You know, and if you can, you want to create multiple sources of income. You know, maybe write a few books, come out with a product or something like that. Do some content, something on the side, you know, with your 9 to 5 as well. You know, learn some new skills because, you know, if you got your regular jobs, you know, like a restaurant or a factory job is okay, but you can, you know, in this society, they pay people more when they have like a learned skill. So like coding, computer coding, medical coding. I do medical billing coding. You know, sales, healthcare, certifications. Certifications are a lot easier for people who don't really want to get like degrees and stuff. It's a lot faster. So that's like an option for people who are not really interested in, you know, in college. To get that extra, you know, pay bump and actual career that you can scale up towards the 6 figures. Instead of being, you know, held in like the lower income jobs. The third thing that you want to do as a young person is to invest early. Invest early. Now, not financial advice, but at least learn about investing. Learn about, you know, S&P 500. Learn about crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. Learn about those things and make sure that, you know, you're educated about investing, and then assess your own personal situation and then invest accordingly. Like investing is a way to keep up with inflation, and once you find a good solid investment that aligns with your financial situation, it's gonna really help you. And no matter what you're earning, you know, it's gonna multiply whatever you're earning. So even if you're earning a low wage, it can multiply. Like say you have around about 30K, but you have some lower expenses. You're not living above your means, and then you invest a good portion of that. You can triple, you know, a portion of that 30K, and so you can, in that way, boost your salary over time. But invest is not, it's not a like a weekly thing. It's more of a, you know, look at 6 months, look at a year, look at 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, even 10 years, or for some higher level investors, they think like 20 or more years. You know, that's a little extreme, but I would say at least have a 2 to, you know, 5 year window, you know, when you're investing. And you don't have to, you know, invest a lot. You can do even as little as $5, $50, 500, 1,000, in something like the S&P 500, not financial advice, and dollar cost average. So meaning that you don't care what the price is. You don't care if the price is up or down. You just like you pay a bill, you just put a little bit in, and then over time, you see that dividend grow. The small, consistent investments over time, instead of like, you know, big bets. But the main thing is to learn. You want to learn before you put a single cent in anything. Learn about stocks, learn about crypto, learn about financial education. It's super important, and that can get you ahead no matter what you're making. There was a guy on the news. He made like only like $12 an hour for most of his life, but he still managed to save like $500,000. So it's doable if you can be frugal and you can be dedicated, diligent, and responsible. This kind of goes back to what I was saying about, you know, researching about investing and stuff. But you want to, you know, find mentors, find older successful people, workers, maybe your parents, maybe family members, business owners, and ask them what would they do if they were your age, you know, 18, early 20s like us. And you know, what mistakes did they make, so maybe you won't make those mistakes. You can learn from them. You know, just don't just rely on like YouTube gurus. You know, talk to some real people and find out some real successful people and find out like what did they do. You want to find that out. The next thing is you want to budget what you can spare, and then what you can spare is what you should invest. But first of all, you want to save. Always have like some kind of emergency fund just in case. At least like, you know, an extra $1,000. It's not even that's not a lot, but it's better than not having an extra $1,000, and you can add to it over time. And you know, a lot of times people, this game is Black Ops 6. This is Black Ops 6. Welcome to the stream. But over time, you can really, you know, just continue to add to that emergency fund. And even your investment is technically part of the long-term emergency fund. What's going on, chat? Nobody, what's up? Travis, what's up? OG Hipper. Alright, 1 second. Got chat for a second. Okay, the next thing is you want to build a good spiritual mental foundation. So, you know, I know some people might not believe in God, but let me tell you, being right with God is good for your financial life. It really is. Building faith, praying, you know, centering yourself around God is super important, especially when life gets stressful. And money alone is not going to sustain you. It's a temporary thing on this earth, and God's riches are eternal. Number 8 of the things that you want to do before 30, you want to plan family. Even if you think, oh no, you probably won't have no kids, or you don't think about getting married or whatever, you want a family plan, and that should be part of your financial habits. That should be part of the reason why you're investing, part of the reason why you're saving. You should factor in having a family and thinking about how much it'll cost, so that by the time you do have a family or you do have a child, that you won't be panicking because you already have money set aside. And 9, this kind of ties everything together, is you want to sacrifice short term for fun for long term. So like, you know, saving and investing, you might have to, you know, not spend so much on food. You might not be able to go out to parties, or not be able to go here and go there and have fun while you're building yourself, you know, financially in your 20s, just grinding away at whatever. So you do have to have that discipline to be like, you know what, I'm not going to spend that. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be frugal as possible to build up myself financially. And the last point I think you should do before 30 is what I said earlier. Create extra streams of income, side hustles, freelance work, reselling, content creation, certifications, overtime, you know. Not only depending on your job, but having extra streams of income, and then picking the extra streams of income, and then also saving those or investing those. And you know, if you follow these steps, you know, from 18 to 30, and then even 20 to 30, you'll be in a really great place. No matter what job you might have or what salary you might have, you'll have a stable job history. You'll have investments growing in the background. You'll have backup skills and income streams. And you'll have peace of mind and discipline. And then when you hit 30, you won't be looking like, oh man, what did what did I do? I blew my 20s or whatever. Right. I'm 26 and I'm working on some of these goals before I hit 30. And so, if you guys are young, I would definitely, share this video. And you want to make sure that you do those things. Even rewatch the video, or even if you hear from somebody else, you want to make sure you do that, so you're in a good place by the time you're 30. Like if you're 18, you got a long opportunity, a huge opportunity. Or if you're 20, 21, 22, even if you like me, you're 25, you still got a few years before you turn 30. So it's a huge opportunity. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys on the next one.